What do you do with a chance? What do you do, perchance? You take it. You take it. That's what you do. That's what you do with your chance. You take it. You take it. That's what you do.
Sometimes it takes just one committed individual to start a movement. Just one person with passion and a committed action to inspire someone. I'm going to step down. I want to help illustrate this in just a little bit. What you see is a dancing man there, folks. We should use this in our leadership training class, but he's getting his groove on. Yes. The people seated around right now are saying, he's on something. He done lost his mind. Now, that film is a little grainy, but it kind of looks like, oh, wait. Oh, someone just got inspired. One more person just showed up. Look at that. All right, that's a movement right there, folks. That's a movement. Yes. Oh, and another one. Oh, it's a grainy film, but doesn't it look like Marlon there a little bit? Yes, all right. Look at them. Look at the folks just watching them. Now, if they don't join in, they're going to miss out on something big. Wow, look at it grow. And they're still looking at it. All of them crazy now. That's what they're thinking on the ground there. Look how big that is. Folks, that is a movement. That's a movement, and that's what I'm talking about. As renowned anthropologist Margaret Mead once wisely noted, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has, end quote. There is an urgent need for a movement of those who share a vision of a better world, a world that is freer, happier, kinder, more hospitable, more just, more inclusive, and more lovable than the world we inherited. I believe hope, that aspirational state of mind that anticipates the good, plays a crucial role in that vision. As a new grandfather of a 1-year-old granddaughter, and after the service, I'll show you pictures of her. But I'm concerned about the world she will inherit. When I look into those precious, beautiful eyes of that little girl, I wonder if she will inherit a world where she will be limited in what she's able to learn and know. Will she experience a world of division, hate, and inhumanity? I fear that she will be forced to adhere to some religious doctrine that suppresses her capacity for self-actualization. Will she be a second-class citizen, invisible, and lacking full access to education, employment opportunities, and health care? Basically, how it feels for many people growing up in America, myself included at times. I know that each of you have your own concerns when you look at your children, grandchildren, or some other little folks that are in your lives. What will they inherit? Imagine this. Imagine a world where vital history is distorted. Our youth's education is stifled, and conversations about gender, sexuality, and racism are forbidden. Imagine a world where many adults are falling victim to disinformation, conspiratorial lies, and propaganda. Sounds crazy, but just a little familiar. Where Bible-based curricula are being taught in schools, women are having to drive across state lines to receive reproductive and medical treatment, with some under the threat of arrest if they go. Where LGBTQ people are being persecuted and maligned. Where voting maps are being redrawn to dilute minority vote. And corporations across the nation are suspending their diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. What a world that would be. What happened that in a matter of a few years, we would experience such drastic changes in our society? What happened that some significant progress is now being reversed, and the momentum we experience toward a more diverse and an inclusive nation is now at risk? Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of committed citizens can change the world." And I guess that means any small group, not just the ones you and I run with. Did we fail to notice, to recognize the small minority groups in our nation mobilizing to take over school boards, local elections, governorships, and even the Supreme Court? Regrettably, it has been on our watch, folks, that these hard-fought victories have slipped through our hands. It is our collective missed opportunity. Some politicians, preachers, and presidents want to chip away at our collective power and voice by keeping us ignorant. Stupid, I shouldn't say that word, but they keep us ignorant and embroiled in culture wars. You know that old proverb, you shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free. It is knowing. That's the key to illumination, which then leads to freedom. But the reverse then must also be true. Ignorance of the truth is a form of bondage. Real knowledge isn't just powerful, it's liberating. And folks, our freedoms are at stake. Now, slave owners understood this, forbidding their slaves from any learning in order to maintain control over them, to keep them from rebelling, and to protect their financial bottom lines. That's why public education has become such a battlefield, a hot topic, because right now, young minds are malleable and open to new ideas. And much of what this country will look like depends on what ideas take root. And I'll say that again. Much of what this country will look like will depend on what ideas take root. I know that many of you share similar concerns. I talk quite a bit to parishioners and people in the community. The fear and hopelessness about what's coming next is palpable. But despite it all, we have reasons to hope. While we can't solve all the world's problems at the same time, we can make a difference at the local level. I want to remind you that we have a mighty cloud of witnesses in this movement. Our Unitarian Universalist forebears, champions of education in America, laid the groundwork for societal expansion and equity. Consider Unitarian Horace Mann, hailed as the father of American education, who in 1837 fervently advocated for universal public education. His vision transcended socioeconomic barriers. He believed that an educated populace or an educated population was essential for advancing social justice, reducing crime, and enhancing societal well-being. Equally significant are the Peabody sisters, Elizabeth, Mary, Sophia, also Unitarians. trailblazers in modern education theory, founders of the kindergarten movement in America, and patrons of the arts. It's no coincidence that numerous public schools across the nation bear the names of Unitarians, Emerson, Thoreau, Channing, Peabody, and others. The All Souls community, too, has been on the forefront, as exemplified by the late Minister Emeritus John Wolfe's public battle over school desegregation with the Tulsa Board of Education Superintendent Director Dr. Charles Mason. And this was in 1968. And that was a battle. That was a battle, folks, that Dr. Mason lost. Nancy McDonald, our dear member of this congregation who passed away just over a month ago, witnessed the profound impact of poverty, discrimination, and disparities in education that impact had on young minds, particularly people of color, which led her to champion early childhood education in Oklahoma and to lead the charge for the integration of Tulsa public schools. Nancy's dedication to education and civil rights brought her into direct collaboration with 3 U.S. presidents. That's Reagan, the first President Bush, and Clinton. Her tireless community building across cultures and boundaries was evident as she was the only white woman invited to join the Black Ministers Association. An educator herself, Nancy left us a legacy of community work and activism, a legacy we must protect and defend, especially in the realm of education. In acknowledging our history and deep connections to education and advocacy, we, more than any other religious faith tradition, bear a unique responsibility to safeguard these legacies. And I'll repeat that. We, the truth seekers, those open to all kinds of ideologies and philosophies and theologies, we, the Unitarians, bear more than any other religious tradition, we bear the responsibility to safeguard and continuously champion these legacies. Losing school board elections on our watch? Really? In the grand scheme of global challenges, wars and terrorism, and humanitarian, economic, and ecological crises, participating in local school board elections may seem insignificant, but it isn't. In fact, it's crucial, folks. And although voter turnout in school board primaries have been historically low, with some districts reporting as few as 2% of registered voters actually participating, that means we have an opportunity, folks. We have an opportunity. And with hope and committed action as our guiding force, we can alter this trajectory and make a positive impact on our communities. Author Anne Lamott said, quote, "Hope begins in the dark. The stubborn hope that if you just show up and try to do the right thing, the dawn will come. You wait and watch and work. You don't give up," end quote. So what must we do? First, we must be informed. Knowledge is power, as Francis Bacon said. And if I were to ask you today, how many of you know what district you live in, how many would you raise your hand? Okay, all right. If I ask you if you knew who your district representative is, would you raise your hand? A little less. Do you know who your council person is? Do you know? Do you know who your president is? Well, yes, that one's up for debate, I guess. But folks, we need to know how to play the game in order to do it successfully. Knowledge is power. Secondly, you have to show up. If we don't vote, we can't complain about the outcomes, right? We can't be the spectators who sit in the stands or on the sidelines yelling at the players who dropped the ball. I like to say that you got to be in it to win it. You got to be in it to win it. We have in this church the Action Team, a local chapter of the national organization, which is a coalition for an engaged, equitable community where all people have power to influence public decisions. The Action Team is here today, and so when you get through the service, go back and chat with them. I'll give you some information about how we can stay informed and empowered. And if you thought about running for a school board election or some other local election, this is your confirmation right here. Brother Randy said it. We got your back, right? You run, we're going to support you, right? All right then, we're going to do it. Moving forward involves more than just being informed and present. It's about actively walking the path. It requires daily commitment to the plan. Studying to show ourselves approved, putting on that metaphorical armor for whatever challenges we might face. Choosing hope means not only envisioning a better world, but actively walking the pathways that create it. Here at All Souls, we embark on a journey, a path we call love beyond belief. It starts with becoming a member, and then through the foundations classes where we explore our movement's history. Then there's the class called Building Your Own Theology that Marlon leads. And then another one called Healing Religious Wounds, which I am currently leading. And there's the invitation to engage in our Wellsprings group as our small group ministry, or join one of our many pastoral or justice teams and participate in the intercultural work that is happening right here in our community, where you'll encounter some of the diverse perspectives that define us. There are so many opportunities to get involved. It's the journey from hope to possibility, where each of us becomes a source of hope and inspiration to others. My message today, my friends, is not only about voting and activism. I'm talking about showing up for your life, your whole life. To be active in the life of the community, you need to be first present and active in your own. To share the light with others, you need to remember to tend to your own flame. And there's a lot of hope during this time of year, Christmas cheer. But it can also be a difficult time for many. We've had a lot of loss in our community. Remember to feed your soul and to cultivate hope within your heart. Hope is not just a passive emotion, but an active force, a tangible product of intentional collective actions that contribute to the building of a better world for ourselves and for future generations. And they are counting on us to do it. Now, I don't think the dancing man in the video set out to start a movement or to inspire anyone. He just authentically showed up in his life. And it took a lot of guts to get out there in front of everyone dancing as he did. The clip reminded me of a favorite song of mine called I Hope You Dance. Some of the lyrics go, I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance, nor settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth the making. Don't let some hell-bent soul leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance,
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small standing by the ocean, When one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me you'll give faith a fighting chance. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance, and never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart lead you in. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance.